Welcome to the Fear Fiction Podcast. Fearfic is the term for short horror fiction, mostly posted on the web. It includes any and all related subgenres. Join three assholes talking basement goo Slimebeast, inebriated interstellar traveler Abysmii, and irritable ghostly man-horde Dead Palette, as they read all stories horror and internet-related, paragraph by paragraph, and bullshit while they do it. From adolescent revenge fantasies to subtle postmodern narratives about real-life events and everything in between, they read it and critique. You better believe it. Kick it to the cold open, white boy.
Okay, so we're going into this one completely blind. We don't know exactly what this is, but Chelsea sent us this thing that is supposed to be like a creepypasta. I don't know if it's like a real story or like a very fictional one. If it's supposed to be real, I have no idea what this is.
It's on a website called Personal Ghost Stories, so that gives us a little bit of inclination
that This might be a person's sincere recounting of events.
Well,
Possibly.
I mean, if they're talking about ghosts, it's a lie. So,
damn.
Well, you know, they can fool themselves into thinking that, though.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
And they're wrong because ghosts don't exist, but
Exactly.
they can believe that.
Listen, okay, everybody out there, if ghosts existed, there would be ghosts all the way back to caveman times. Every square inch of Earth would be ghosts. Come on, folks. Oh, ghosts are only ones that die under, bad circumstances. Yeah, all those people who die under good circumstances, you're right. Fuck, dude. Fuck you. Yeah, all those people who are happy to die. Yeah, awesome, dude.
Yeah, fuck you and what you believe.
Get real, dude. Come on.
Get
And all
real,
these people
dude.
who believe in animal ghosts, Jesus Christ, how many animals do you think there have been in the history of the world?
What about
Be a
plant
cat
ghosts?
ghost every 2 centimeters. They don't
Fungi
overlap like
ghosts?
Venn diagrams. Yeah, that's right.
You just bend down in the forest and pick up some mushrooms. Like, oh, look at these cool mushrooms, and then you just look in the bag later and they're gone, and they were ghost mushrooms.
Oh, no.
Yeah, ghost mushroom. That's so mundane.
Or ghost peppers.
You're talking. You're just laughing like you consumed a ghost mushroom. You're like, ooh, that's so mundane.
Yes. So, hey, that's me, Slimebeast. It's so mundane. Hey, DP, how we doing over here?
I went out there to get some mushrooms and they were gone because they were ghost mushrooms. Hey.
Oh, went to that Ruby Tuesday, New Mexico.
That was
Went
so
on holiday.
The idea that you'd be like, oh, mushrooms, you put them in a bag and walk home, and then the bag is empty when you get home, and you're like, oh, those were ghost mushrooms. And then you're just like, huh.
Oh, why do I feel so weird?
Not like, they fell out of the bag or something ate them. Oh, they were ghost mushrooms. It's the only explanation.
What do you do with this information? You're just like, oh, okay.
Haunted forest.
They're hallucinogenic mushrooms that make you forget that you took them.
There you go.
The worst type. Because then you can't say
worst-
I was on mushrooms when blank happened. You're just like, I had a weird day yesterday. I don't know why.
Okay, so there are mushrooms that kill you, but those are the worst ones, Abysmii, really?
Well, no. Really think this through.
I would rather be dead than not know what happened yesterday, okay?
If you take one of these ghost mushrooms and it just erases your memory that you took it and then you're high, you have just successfully found a way to gaslight yourself about anything.
True. That's dangerous territory.
Where are my underwear? What the fuck?
God damn it.
Why do I have my shoes on the opposite feet?
It's just the thing that it's like, oh man, I shit myself. I better take a ghost mushroom to forget that I shit myself, and you just come back to reality. Why don't I have any underwear on? But meanwhile, you have shitty underwear on your ass.
Matt Albert, you took ghost mushrooms again.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh shit! Oh God!
I'm about
Jesus
to see
Christ,
that.
have mercy!
I'm about to see that, man. I took a bunch of Benadryl.
Oh, my night terrors. They're real.
Matt Albert, you need to calm down. Shut the fuck up, Rudy.
You're a
Why the
bitch.
four of you?
Fat Albert, you're like a person who's going out there looking for oil. Someone who's going out there looking for oil. Yeah, you Benadryllin'.
I don't get it.
That joke is too crude. You thought it was slick. No more show. No more show. The show's over.
How many episodes in a
show.
row are you going to say that?
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Fear Fiction Podcast. Bye-bye. Fear Fiction, go bye-bye in the car. Bye-bye.
Bad on those mushrooms. It's the best episode.
For anybody out there wondering, the Fear Fiction Podcast is just going out to get cigarettes. We'll be right back, everybody.
End of Fear Fiction Podcast. Start of Benadryl Podcast.
God, no. Oh, fuck.
Oh, my Lord. So, I guess let's actually do this.
Yeah.
My best friend found this subreddit. He told me I need to share this story. It's kind of weird and unbelievable. I have no proof it happened, but if you want to hear a good story, gather round.
This isn't Reddit. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
In the winter of 2009, my brother and I took a road trip from Portland, Oregon to Port St. Lucie.
Okay, so I thought that said in the winter of 2099.
This is a true story. Anyway, Port St. Lucie, Florida, and back again. We made the trip to visit my sister, who lives in Port St. Lucie. She and her husband just had their first child, and my brother and I were excited to see the newborn.
In the cyber winter of 2099, my cyber brother and I took a road trip from cyber Portland.
We traveled through the metaverse to see a newborn digital baby.
Oh, God. Could you imagine? Oh, fuck. There are people on Second Life and shit like that have, like, their fake baby and treat it like their real baby. Can you imagine in virtual reality, like, when you actually can hold it and shit, how much that's going to fuck people up?
God,
This is my virtual baby. It's a giant Tamagotchi. It's like, yeah, it's a giant Tamagotchi that I hold.
God damn it. Or worse yet, is the thing where it's like, this is my digital baby, and the baby goes, go, go, gaga.
How you doing, little baby?
I gotta get it back to the shop. Can you feed me and put me to bed? I'm on break here. What? On the trip to Port St. Lucie, we took a combination of Benadryl and mushrooms.
Wash it down with some lean.
I think we went to Florida. There was a Mickey Mouse. I don't know.
You ever take a bottle of Benadryl and wash it down with Robitussin? We call that going to Florida.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, fuck. On the trip to Port St. Lucie, we took a combination of freeways from the northwest all the way down to the southeast corner. Basically, a diagonal route. But several times throughout our voyage, we were tremendously delayed by snow. The trip, which should have taken no more than 3 days, ended up taking 5. Because of this delay, we had to cut short our visit with our sister's family. The end. Wow, that was a good story. Why did Chelsea
Cool.
I have no idea.
Turned out the snow was ghosts. Oh.
The snow was a hallucinogenic drug.
Mm-hmm.
On the trip back to Portland, we decided to take I-10 the entire way. The stretch of freeway runs all the way from Florida to Los Angeles and would completely keep us away from the snow. The I-10 route added several hundred miles of nothing to do where the story is not progressing whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But we both need to be home for work for the following Monday. It's super important, and this was a surefire way to not be delayed.
I can relate to these people because they go to work and they're in snow.
You're driving from Oregon to Florida. Save up for a flight.
Just go to Florida, idiots. It's the same thing as both of them.
Oregon. Is that next to Baja?
Yes.
The first day of the return trip was uneventful, but we did manage to drive 1,300 miles. Oh, wait, okay, so nothing happens on the trip there. Why did we know about you needed to go out in the first place? Just say I was returning from a trip.
Okay, so every time we read a measure of distance, we have to go mile stamp, like time stamp.
Milestone.
Milestone.
The first day of the return trip was uneventful, but we did manage to drive 1,300 miles, milestone, from Port St. Lucie to San Antonio before stopping for the night. The plan was to make it all the way to Las Vegas the next night. God, I don't care. Whatever. They left San Antonio.
Okay, if this story ends up being bad,
you need to go yell at Chelsea.
It is perfectly fair to cyberbully Chelsea.
Mm-hmm. What are you gonna do if you go and tell Chelsea that the story is bad and she looks at you like tearfully, tears in her eyes?
I wrote this for you.
She's like on the floor crying, and she just looks up at you slowly with tears in her eyes and her hands together, and she says, "But it had cities. I know you love cities."
Oh, you didn't like cities? And then she just takes it. She goes psychotic and goes the other direction.
Yeah.
We'll get rid of some cities. Grins with nuclear intent.
There you go.
I guess I gotta blow up the I-10 now.
The I-10, I destroy. Anyway.
iCarly, cyber terrorism.
Cyber-terrorism? All right, did you read this whole thing in this paragraph?
Sure, whatever.
Oh. The car we took on this trip was a 2008 Honda Civic Hybrid.
Oh my god.
The entire trip we had been getting right around 30.
Are you fucking serious?
This is digitally displayed on the dash. So we had become very aware of how many miles we could squeeze out of the tank. We knew to refuel around 350 miles.
Milestone.
Oh, the milestone. Batman, our first fight. But we also knew we could stretch that number into the low 400s if need
Could
be.
you?
What psychopath wrote this?
Chelsea wrote this.
This is maybe they just like wrote their road trip out and accidentally put it on a fucking Ghost Stories WordPress site. What the fuck?
You know what this is? This is an AI writing a story where you're trying to get it to go to the story, but it keeps doing this.
Your car is a 2008 Honda Civic. I don't care. We need to get to Florida.
And then
It's snowed.
you type in, I take out a gun and shoot the monster, and it says, you take out your gun, but then put it away, driving 300 miles east.
Oh no!
The monster goes 300 miles per hour in the opposite direction. Like, what? Come on, we were right there.
I take out my gun and shoot at the monster. The monster decides to T-pose and float out through the roof.
Ugh.
It floats out the roof about 5 miles into the air. Your bullet speeds at 75 miles an hour.
Oh my lord.
Okay, go ahead, VP.
About 100 miles?
Milestone, yeah.
Milestone. About 100 miles outside San Antonio, I noticed the fuel gauge was dropping noticeably faster than usual, so I checked the button to change the dashboard display, only to see the car was getting barely 26 miles per gallon.
Oh my god!
This has to be a troll story.
It's starting to feel like it.
There's no way.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Best of the Worst, Black Spine Edition.
Oh boy.
Have no idea what we're getting into, and it's just word salad. It's just
okay. What is our word for black spine for like stories?
Chelsea's choice.
Chelsea's.
the CC.
It is now.
Did you ever see that movie? Did you ever see that heart-wrenching movie Chelsea's Choice, where the main character says, "Can I just get rid of both of the kids?" They're kind of annoying.
Oh my god, this is incredible. At first, I was shocked, but I reasoned it's possibly driving uphill the entire way. I still don't know. I thought throughout the course of an entire tank of fuel that it would eventually balance itself out and would finish the tank with that 35 mile per gallon range. I was wrong.
Bum bum bum.
Brace yourself. I kept a very detailed log of this entire trip.
Wait. It's literally just fucking. It's a Phil.
Someone's road trip diary.
No. What's the name of the guy from What We Do in the Shadows?
Phil Collins. Yeah.
Oh, Tech. What TV?
No, wait. Dewey DeShadow?
Oh, no, Colin Robinson.
Colin Robinson. This is literally the shit that Colin Robinson would say. It's fucking incredible.
It's pretty good. I kept a very detailed log of this entire trip, and this one stop in Fort Stockton, Texas, let me tell you, is the only anomaly in the entire book. The car, which had consistently held around 35 miles per gallon, suddenly finished an entire tank off at 25.8 miles per gallon.
Fuck off. Fuck off, you troll pasta.
This is so funny.
That is over 100-mile difference times milestone from the vehicle's normal range.
Wait, guys. Is the name of this site a giveaway to it being a troll pasta site?
Personal ghost stories? I don't think so.
It just sounds like something you would name something if you were trying to get one over on people. Like,
is Chelsea trolling us? Like, I have to know. We have to ask her after this.
We do.
Personal ghost stories.
I still, to this day, cannot figure out why there was such a drastic shift in fuel consumption in that 300-mile milestone stretch in San Antonio. I've reflected on that tank of gas several times since this happened, and I have almost come to the conclusion that it was an intentional glitch in order to make us pull over where we did.
This dude really appreciates Kingdom Hearts, but it's Saudi Arabia, I guess, with the gas. I don't know.
Oh,
really
my God.
appreciates Kingdom Cars.
This guy really appreciates cars.
I do think this is the kind of person who writes Cars fan fiction.
Oh no, God.
Lightning McQueen, you're supposed to have 35 miles per gallon, but you're getting 25.8. No, that's right. You have cancer.
You got a cancerous carburetor.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can't keep going at that speed. This is the best troll pasta I think I've ever read.
I love how it like within a paragraph it went from we were just all groaning and hating this, and then like one sentence we just start bust out laughing.
It really, literally took me like 2 paragraphs to just catch on. I love it.
All right, so this is me now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our original plan was to refuel about 50 miles later in a town that I cannot remember. But, moving on, we obviously ran short on fuel.
This whole time, the person that you're talking to is just like, "Damn, dog! I can't believe that. Damn, dog! That's crazy."
That's
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa! Just trying
Damn.
to. Okay, listen.
Yeah.
Just starts pointing over shoulder, like, "Hey, yeah, man. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
I really need to leave the grocery store.
My wife is giving birth. That's crazy. Yeah.
My wife is giving birth. I think my house is on fire. I gotta go.
I think my wife is on fire. I gotta
Have a baby."
Guys, relax. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna start over so we remember here.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Mhm.
Our original plan was to refuel about 50 miles later in a town that I cannot remember. But
So that's, okay, so let me just interrupt you there about that.
Oh my God.
I think here you can really pull apart and see what the story's intent is here, where they don't know what town they're going to, which is giving off this very ethereal vibe of like, where are we in the world, which makes you think, where are we just, orienting ourselves in the
dare
real
I
world?
say, perhaps a bit backroomsy?
The back rooms, but an entirely open space. Interesting.
Yes. The front open space.
Also, do not, whatever you do, read ahead, because this is gonna get twisted.
All right, I'm gonna do the opposite of reading ahead. Our original plan was to refuel about 50 miles later in a town that I cannot remember, but we obviously ran short on fuel.
Now, this is very much so, if we may pause for a second, this is very much so reminding me of, 40 Licks and the Rolling Stones. And like, you don't always get what you want. And in your times of need, you might get some gasoline from a place if they have some sort of gasoline station. And that gasoline station could be your guiding way, your subordinate, your God, essentially.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So, and I think that's the messaging here is that
my wife is on fire. I think I gotta.
No, so like, the gas man. That's where the power comes from. So it's like a gas god. Crazy, Americans worship gas.
Yeah,
we do.
Exactly.
We do.
Have you seen a movie about that? I saw a movie about that.
I'm always saying that. Yeah, that's true.
We should get back to the story.
Yeah,
we should. Yeah.
Where were we at?
Our original plan was to refuel about 50 miles later in a town that I cannot remember, but we obviously ran short on fuel. Anyway, by the way, the thing is with when you cited Rolling Stones, you can always get what you want. It's good because like the plebeian reader, like the Cheebs, if you will, of Creepypasta readers, would have cited Hotel California. So the fact that you went to Rolling Stones, it's like
that's true.
You tell that you're thinking like a level above like the peasant. You know what I mean?
I do think that throughout my life I've been in the desert on a camel with a horse that has no name.
Yeah. Our original plan was to refuel about 50 miles later in a town that I cannot remember, but
if it's okay, but let's pause here because this is going to be important. 50 miles out from their current location. So we're going to have to use that number and like put that on our whiteboard for later. Just remember that, but that's going to come up again because you're going to have to do some math and there's kind of like an Easter egg that you might not pick up on otherwise.
Right. Sort of like a word jumble of numbers.
Yeah, and if you like solve it, then basically it kind of like sends you to a web. There's ARG elements to this, but yeah, just continue.
Exactly. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Paprika was reading. Our original plan was to refuel about 50 miles later in a town that I cannot remember. But we obviously ran out of... No, I'm sorry. Fucked up. Our original plan was to refuel about 50... refuel about 50 miles later in a town that I cannot remember. But we obviously ran short on fuel.
And now the entire audience has left the show as opposed to us ending it.
Yeah, Abysmii, that's so true. Anyway, since you interrupted me, our original plan was to refuel about 50 miles later in a town that I cannot remember. But we obviously ran short on fuel. Anyway, with our GPS programmed to Las Vegas, Nevada, we headed back onto the road, in which the GPS directed. Pretty soon after we got back on the road, we realized we were no longer on the I-10 heading west. Instead, we were north on Highway 285. Here's a today I learned for some people. Evenly numbered highways and freeways are heading east and west, while odds are north and south. We didn't think much about being off the interstate because many times throughout the drive, we had been directed onto bypass highways. We assumed this was just another such instance.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What?
I am deeply disturbed right now.
What's new?
This is
Oh,
the most sociopathic thing I've
Yes.
ever read. I love it.
Abysmii is so disturbed that he had to mute himself to go, "Ooh-wah!
what is this about?
Ooh-wah!
I can totally see.
Ooh-wah!"
Oh my god. For fuck's
Back
sake.
in my day, we listened to the song by Disturbed. It's go ooh-ah.
Whoa!
Everyone was getting down with this sickness, I tell you what.
Kids these days can't get down with the sickness anymore.
Die! Kids
Oh
these days, they're weak, they die from the sickness. We loved it. We were always saying, I am very sick. Ooh-ah.
You're just turning into like a fucking Count Dracula.
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone was letting bodies hit the floor by drowning pool.
After about an hour and a half of driving on Highway 285, we crossed New Mexico, which was about 2 hours earlier than we should have crossed the
Ugh.
border.
God.
By this time, we realized the GPS thought this was more
Dang.
efficient way to go to Vegas, even though by all accounts it was an hour faster if we stayed straight on the 10. We were annoyed, but decided to just stick it out with the GPS and kept heading north throughout New
Yeah.
Mexico.
I can't
Feeling
can't-
annoyed again.
I can't unhear Colin Robinson now. Brought it up. Like, Jesus Christ.
I have no idea who that is, so I'm glad.
Ugh.
I'm not into
Okay.
this fucking shit.
Okay. In What We Do in the Shadows, there's a character that's an energy vampire, and he just tells people stories like this, and that is him getting psychic energy.
I see.
Yeah.
So like he's in a house with like a bunch of like real vampires, and he's an energy vampire, and just draining people and keeping them caught in conversation
I see.
is his life force.
My favorite line from Colin Robinson is, well, I, got a promotion, so I did what any young buck would do. I got a convertible, I put the top down, and I blocked the entrance to the Lincoln Tunnel. Nearly 5 hours after refueling in Fort Stockton, my brother and I were hungry and decided it was time to find somewhere to eat, as humans do. Driving through this part, New Mexico, missing an of there, I'm a little disappointed, is kind of lonely. There are very few towns, and where there are towns, they are small and on the verge of becoming ghosts. Oh my God.
Go.
Oh my God.
We-
17 paragraphs into the story, and we have ghosts.
You go from picking mushrooms that are ghosts to stopping at a Ruby Tuesdays that's a ghost.
I think their economies are built around helping travelers fill up their gas tanks. Other than that, I cannot see a reason for them to exist.
What?
My pillow?
My pillow. My pillow. My brother and I have talked about what happened next so many times, but we still cannot figure it all out. We passed through a small town with a couple gas stations, and we know the town was named Vaughn, New Mexico. And then about 20 miles later, milestone, we drove through a town called Encino, New Mexico, which did not have a gas station that we can recall. In fact, the second town didn't really seem to have much there, if anything. I wasn't sure if anyone was living there. I seem to remember questioning why it existed in the first place, but then quickly dismissing it and driving right through. It's like meta commentary on these paragraphs. I'm not sure why this exists.
I don't know.
It does seem just like this purgatory. I fucking love it. Like, it's so intentional and trolly. It's been a long time since I've read a troll pasta this good.
I wonder how this is going to shit the bed. It's going to end with the line, and this is all serious and not a troll pasta. Oh, fuck. Well,
damn it!
As long as it literally doesn't end with that, that's fine.
Written by Grand Theft Motto. Damn it!
Fuck!
That's pretty much the only thing that could ruin it at this point.
Yeah.
Not even 10 miles after passing through Encino, New Mexico, we surprisingly came upon a city, town that wasn't loaded in the GPS.
Oh, God.
Okay.
The horror.
Then we drove out of it, and then we went to another one, and then we drove out of that.
That's a little eerie. That's pretty cool. This wasn't a big deal because it was using the cheap handheld that lost its signal all the time. But usually the only thing that didn't display were the newly built roads and recent construction areas. This was definitely not brand new, so I figured the GPS was being buggy. The oddest part was that the city, neither of us remember seeing any warning of it coming up in the town of this size. This is beginning to sound like a Vulcan trying to tell a story.
Beginning to sound a lot like nonsense.
The GPS was being illogical. It was very scary.
The oddest part of my findings of the city, okay, it had several fast food joints, restaurants, hotels, motels, grocery stores, outlets maybe, and even some. If you were,
kind of quiet, by the way.
If it were to my guess, I would say
you're getting quieter.
No.
No?
Stop gaslighting.
Stop gaslighting me. It's not okay.
You're not getting quieter.
I'm getting louder. If I were to guess, I would say the city was roughly 10 to 20,000 people.
We decided to pull off and grab a bite to eat. Normally, we probably would have grabbed some fast food, but my brother saw a Ruby Tuesdays, there it is, and really wanted to try it out. There were a couple Ruby Tuesdays around the Portland area at the time, but neither of us had been there. Oh my God. We had just heard that they had a pretty good salad bar. And I guess my brother was in the mood for something other than fast food. I went along with the suggestion because I was sick of eating junk.
Who's
all right?
There's only two of you in the car and your brothers.
Slimebeast, I'm glad you get to read this next bit.
For the rest of the story, I will be N and my brother will be G. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'm Yo G.
We pulled into the Ruby Tuesdays parking lot, got out of the car, and walked in the restaurant. Immediately upon entering, should be a comma. A waitress who was milling around the hostess station says, "Oh my word, is that N and G?" We said, "How dare you? That's our word."
You can't say that.
Can't say that. What the hell, lady? We started recording. Both my brother and I answered that it was indeed us. And the waitress went on to ask how life was in Portland. Suddenly it clicked. This girl knows who we are. But we are over 1,000 miles from home. Did we know her from back home? Oh, God.
My brother and I both gave very basic, vague answers to her questions.
I like the idea where it's like, my brother and I, who will be referred to as N and G, met this waitress who we'll refer to as I. No, I see what you're doing. Mm-hmm. No, troll pasta. No.
My brother and myself, N and G, met a waitress whose name is Susie Davis, and we found out where she lives on 32XB apartment building A.
She lives on 32XB. It really is 2099. Where are you from? I am from 32XB.
Oh, that's the future liberals want. Where are we? Okay. Shit.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Joe Biden, and boy, howdy. I'm sure I'm glad to be unveiling 32XB. The futurist liberals won. Yay! 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 Flailing his arms like Kermit.
Okay, Robo Biden. And I could tell she was kind of unsettled that my brother and I were both being evasive. When we were seated, my brother immediately asked me where we knew her from, which was the same question I was going to ask him.
Oof.
I told him that I had no idea who she was and that she obviously had mistaken us with some other people. Not more than a minute later, this guy, bartender, comes up and says, no fucking way, GNN, you back for jobs?
For blowjobs.
For blowjobs.
For candies.
I'm the bartender. You want blowjobs?
Yeah.
What?
Why does he have to be called the bartender?
Blur.
Ghost
I'm
is
the
fun.
bartender. My name is Blartleby.
Blarney.
Blarney the bartender.
Paul bartender.
Paul bartender. Rob.
Double, make a fake DVD case with Kevin James's face, and it says Paul Bartender Blart. Tweeted at Kevin James and says, "Sir, do you have no shame?"
These sequels are getting out of hand, Mr. James.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking for the fifth Paul Blart movie? How about Paul Bartender? Shit. How about Ball Blender Ben Blartender?
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
All the dialogue is like that. He goes into his job and his boss is like, Blart. I'm your boss, Blender Blart.
Did Chelsea lace this story with fucking Happy Gas or something? You got us to read it? God damn it.
Oh my god.
This is
What?
like me just walking up to Chelsea. Hey, baby, can I get a tune on the Happy Gas?
Dude. Time to get on the happy train.
Can I take some Happy Gas and watch Paul Bartender?
Paul Bartender Blart.
What? My brother went on to tell the guy they had us mistaken with some other people. He laughed and dismissed my brother's response as a joke. The bartender continued on seamlessly and started asking us how we fared in the 3-month anatomy and physiology course we had taken at Oregon State.
Please, everybody out there listening to this,
Oh.
deface Wikipedia, deface IMDb, make review videos, just put up articles and put up things for Paul Bartender Blart. Please. Oh,
Okay, are we processing what actually just happened there? Because it is really interesting.
Yeah,
Because these people just have these very specific data. It's like, hey, how's your psychology class at this college that you should be enrolled at?
they're in some like Twilight Zone dimension where like there's a city that doesn't exist that somehow knows them or something. Yeah.
I mean, they went to a liberal college in Oregon and lost their personalities and an identity, their sense of identity. What's new? That was Haunted.
Lol.
Prove me. This isn't a ghost story. Prove me wrong.
Where are we at?
This is me now?
I remember thinking.
Is this
I
me?
remember.
Is this me? Is this me?
Yes.
Yep.
I remember thinking all of the sudden, this is not a coincidence anymore. My brother and I had taken 3 months, 15 credit AMP classes at Portland State University when we were in our early 20s.
Well,
We were late
everything-
20s when this
okay.
interaction happened. Oh.
This sounds like the inner dialogue Mr. Bean has while he's like working through a scene.
Finally, I asked the guy exactly where they knew us from, and he just kind of paused and started looking me over. Then he said, "Oh, damn, you guys just look really familiar to some people that used to work here." Okay.
All right. Stories turn around. He apologized and claimed that he was trying to get back to work.
When you Photoshop Paul Bartender Blart with Kevin James on the cover, put his mustache, copy his mustache in Photoshop and make 2 of them, for each of his eyebrows. So each eyebrow is a mustache. That's it. That's the only change. Sorry, good.
After a bit, our food came, and my brother and I noticed they had switched out our waitress from the girl who recognized us when we walked in. That wasn't a big deal, though a bit strange. Next, a guy who I can only guess was the manager started walking over to our table with a big smile on his face. As he gets within about 10 feet of us, kind of starts looking over my head and stops. I think someone behind me was directing him not to talk to us. After he perceived the message, he sharply turned 90 degrees and walked away without saying a word. This is such like a Vulcan recounting of an event.
Without saying the N-word. But okay, I think I might have mentioned this before, but imagine here's a horror story idea for anybody out there. You stop in this restaurant just randomly on a road trip, and they bring you out a cake, and the entire staff is singing "Happy Birthday" and clapping, like it's your birthday, even though it isn't. And you start to notice like people coming out of the back who are like wearing uniforms for the restaurant, but they're like kind of like homemade and like haphazard, and like homeless people start coming out, obviously in like colored paper bags, shit like that. Just more and more people singing "Happy Birthday" to you. Just see where could you go with that? Do something with that.
And then like some big wacky waving inflatable flailing arm tube men, start waving around and singing you "Happy Birthday."
Yeah, it blows up. The table like is knocked over and it blows up in front of you where the table was. Inflates.
And there's other patrons in the building, and they were just like not doing anything, but they slowly start coming over to you and stabbing themselves with steak knives. It's like, my liege,
this is all for you.
This is all for you.
All for the birthday boy.
You made us do this. This was your wish.
Why did you wish for this? Stab. Why? Stab.
Oh my lord.
Is this me now?
No, it's me. This had quickly become the most awkward meal of our lives. It went from people acting like it was a celebration for us to have shown up to everyone avoiding eye contact with us at all costs. After we finished up with our meals, the waitress came, told us the cash registers were frozen and that our meal was on the house.
Oh, the cash registers are frozen! Get it?
The ice cream machine broke. Cash register's frozen.
We have the ice cream machine over the cash register, so when one went, the other did too.
I knew we shouldn't have hooked them up.
I really wanted to ask the waitress what the name of the city was that we were in. It's Portland. But I also really wanted to get out of there. After leaving the restaurant, we were running pretty low on gas, about 35 miles per gallon. So I decided to refuel.
Nothing.
I'll start over. No, I'm just kidding. So I decided to refuel before we got back on the highway. I assumed the name of the city would be printed on the receipt, and it was. Turned out it was called Ruby Tuesdays, and our waitress was named Ruby Tuesday. We were not that lucky. Okay.
Oh my god, this is just a fucking bizarre journey we've gone on here.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing's happened. Really, nothing much.
I like stories where nothing happens. They're very soothing. This city strip was a one-way road on the eastern sideway of humanity.
The only road in town was a one-way road through the town. That's it. Well, interesting.
Oh my god. When we left Ruby Tuesdays, the only way to turn around was right and head straight back on northbound 285. It sounds like a police officer recounting a bunch of shit that happened in a debrief. My gun shot.
My gun leapt out of the holster and shot somebody.
Yeah. And then I shot this guy. This guy was shot by police.
I shot this guy and then tased him to make it look like I had to use escalating force. Opposite. I did the taser first and it didn't work.
I shot him and then I tased him to make it look like I used escalating force, and then I slapped him across the face, and then I shouted stop at him, and then it's all reverse order.
And then I noticed that he had a laptop in his back pocket. And I thought that his pen might walk when he half-cocks it. Headed straight down, northbound 285. In order to refuel, we must have headed back north on the one-way street and turned around on the side street to head back
whatever.
to the
whatever. Let's get
southern part of the town to the gas station. This is integral information, okay? The only available right-hand off turn, that one-way street was closed, so I forced back into the highway without refueling. About 20 minutes later, we found a truck stop at the intersection of 285 and I-40, where we finally filled up.
The both of us went into the truck stop bathroom and used the same stall. A note was passed through a hole in the wall that said, "Hey, is that N&G shitting over there?"
Don't you guys work at Ruby Tuesdays?
It just goes back to the last place they stopped.
The rest of the trip was very ordinary. Oh boy,
Wow.
Can't wait.
Unlike the previous part, yeah.
We talked at length about how weird that Ruby Tuesdays was in the middle of New Mexico. We came up with solutions about how we had doppelgangers with the same names. We joked about how people that look similar follow the exact same paths in life regardless of their upbringing. We talked ourselves into it being a major coincidence. When we finally got back to Portland, we decided to do a little research and find out the name of this town. Here is the Google Maps picture of that stretch of highway.
This is better be a picture of fucking Rick Astley.
Nope, it is. Nope. It is a Google Maps screenshot.
It's just a Google Maps screenshot. God damn it.
From B to A.
Oh, that's so goddamn funny.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
Can we use this as the thumbnail, or are we
yes,
doxing Ruby Tuesdays?
Well, nah, public info.
We know we refueled at a truck stop at the intersection of 285 and I-40, which means that we had to have passed through Vaughn and Encino, so there should be a city between the truck stop and Encino. I don't see anywhere on the regular map or the satellite map where this little city could possibly be. I know why this at the beginning it said Reddit. I bet this was posted on No Sleep, and I bet it was deleted for not being horror.
I bet so.
No, it got deleted for being
scared of Sandwich. Sorry, go ahead.
It got deleted for being too scary. I don't think anyone can read this and be like, "What the fuck is happening? Do we need to call the police?"
Hello, officer. Yes, I read the story.
I read the story on the internet.
No, we have never really been able to answer what happened that day. I can still vividly remember the waitress's face of unease by the way my brother and I were behaving. The bartender's voice when he figured out we were not the people he thought we were.
Blart.
And thinking the manager looked identical to the actor Ken Moreno. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Fucking troll pasta. My brother and I know this stuff happened, but we have never been able to find a solution. Do you want to know how I got this brother?
Maybe some Redditors can give us the answer, or maybe this was just a glitch. Maybe someone has driven that stretch of road and knows the town. TLDR, apparently my brother and I worked at a Ruby Tuesdays in the middle of New Mexico.
Right. By Hicks 53081.
This is one of my favorite stories we've heard on the podcast.
Oh, man. Wow.
I still want to know what happened to the differing gas mileage. What was that about?
Some things will never be solved.
So I really like that. It's a very extreme example of this, but I think what we are supposed to glean is that this person is neurodivergent and thinks in this way. And because they think in this way and it's very factual, then that kind of like lends credence to the fact that it was a glitch in the Matrix, because they would perceive these things where other people could be more easily gaslit, but because they think so logically that they come to this conclusion, it's more unnerving that way.
Well, I looked on the Reddit subreddit Glitch in the Matrix where this was posted. The thread has been deleted and the user is deleted, but luckily the top comment explains it all for us. It says, "Hate to tell you this, but you and your brother are spies." Then it goes on about how their mind was, the memories were erased. Yeah, the Ruby Tuesdays is nothing more than a front for the CIA. Okay.
Oh, I do believe that.
All Ruby Tuesdays are fronts for the CIA.
In any town with any Ruby Tuesday, you can contact the CIA.
Hey,
have you ever
back.
noticed nobody actually eats at Ruby Tuesdays?
Welcome back to Conspiracy Board. Today we're going to be ranking all of the conspiracy theories. Today, Ruby Tuesdays, obviously a factual conspiracy. It's a psyop created by the government. No such place exists.
Yep, exactly. It's like SEAL Team 6, where they said, we're going to name it SEAL Team 6 so that people think there are 5 better ones out there. You ever hear about that?
Is that why that is?
Yeah, they called it SEAL Team 6 so that enemies of the United States would think there were 5 other teams that were better than SEAL Team 6, all the way up to 1.
Well, if you go high enough up, you get Overwatch.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
The world could use more heroes, except for when they're bugged. Then you have to remove them.
Okay, so here's what happens is they're raiding bin Laden's place, and there's like a hole in the ceiling, and Tracer is like on a drone, and she's like dropped through the ceiling, busts through, puts a pulse bomb on Osama bin Laden, and then recalls back up onto the jet fighter, and it just sends her out, and she killed Osama bin Laden.
Are you sure McCree didn't go, "It's high noon," and then Osama ducked behind a wall, but then he poked his head out, at the wrong time, and he went, "Drop!" That's what always happened. People always look. They're like, "Is he done yet?" Oh, no, never mind. Yeah.
All
so,
right.
that it?
That's it. I don't know how else to even end that. Story was fucking unhinged.
Oh, I wasn't recording.
This has been the Fear Fiction Podcast. Your hosts are Abysmii, Dead Palette, and Slimebeast. Music by Abysmii. Art by C.F. Comer. Voiceover by Atticus Jackson. Edited by Elias the Intern. Subscribe to Fearfic on YouTube to stay up to date on new episodes.
Are you tired of humanity? Because I sure as fuck am. I'm leaving. I'm going to the Corvid corner. Crows and corvids have been known to memorize restaurant schedules and garbage routes to take advantage of prime scavenging times to get the best of delicacies in their little beaks.
Yeah, the biscuits thing is hilarious.
Dude, the fact that happened, 4 or 5 days in a row.
And they're just like,
and then
eat the fucking biscuits, you bitch.
Eat the bit, yeah.
Eat the bitch biscuits.
Eat the bitch biscuits, yeah.
Fucking...
Oh, this dumb crow with 2 legs and no wings just doesn't understand. KFC biscuits are prime eating.
Crow just going on to Quora and just being like, how do I get my human to eat biscuits?
Right. I keep trying to feed my human, and it just keeps not eating.
I don't know if it's getting food from somewhere else.
Right.
I mean, it's a human. It's fucking stupid.
Humans like biscuits, right?
Humans like biscuits.
They throw out a bunch of these, though, so maybe they don't.
Maybe they don't like biscuits.
Or maybe I have a defective human pet, and I need to go, return this one and get a new one. Do you think maybe that's what happened, and that's why I stopped seeing that crow?
Yeah, take this human to the vet.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
God damn it.
Ah.
Fun fact, Jeff Bezos is a crow.
Hey, don't blame him on crows.
Well, you talking about Prime scavenging times, Amazon Prime.
Oh, yeah. Liking shiny things. Being bald. He's the one that's bald, right? Mm-hmm. He's the rich bald guy.
Rich bald guy. I mean, they're all going... I mean, that's the thing, is they're all rich, and they all could go bald, but he's the one that chooses not to get hair plugs or feather plugs in this case. That was a shitty fact, but it's true.
You stand by it?
I stand by it. Why'd you turn into Krusty the Clown for a sec?
It's springtime, and I tend to lose my voice in spring. And normally I'm able to avoid talking to people when my voice starts to go, but vroom vroom, that's not happening this year, so I might lose my voice. The Corvid corner.
Dick Dappers here for Dick Dapper's Dapper Dick Dappers. Dick Dapper's Dapper Dick Dappers will dap the dick of any Tom, Dick, or Harry. Whether the dick is Harry or Tom, that dick will be dabbed as quick as a whip. Enough wasting time whipping a dick like a slick dipstick to dry your dick. Fix your dick slick with the quick fix of Dick Dapper's Dapper Dick Dappers and flatter your family matters by dabbering your dick's batter post-splatter. Simply open the resealable wrapper, unzip your dick trapper, then feel the cooling licks on your prick of Prick Prabbers Prabber Prick Prabbers. The refreshing feeling as you pull back and strap your dick's tip into the prick with Dusty Dick's industrial strength dick duster. Lightly apply a musky dusk of must dust to your balls crust with Elon's Musk Trust Funds ball runs. Only $25.